Yeah, man. Who is your boy? Touch the 8 on your pastor's favorite DJ. We're back again with another review. I am Touch the 8 Wanda, and I've got my guy over there.
AKA Mr MediaX. You see, I started with AKA today, bro. Mr Media, AKA Mr MediaX, AKA Art Puppy, AKA host of Finance for Hippies podcast, AKA I'm out here to give you guys a review that you ain't never seen. Yo!
Yeah, man. We're back giving you the top 10 dopest album covers of 2020. I'm not sure what episode is this, but we're just feeding you new content as we go. Today we're doing stuff a bit differently. Today we're checking out a few of the submissions for the Emtee cover, which he posted on his Twitter, where he was like requesting cats to actually do an album cover for him, and then he will pick. I'm not big on this type of stuff, but we're big on album covers on this show. So that's what we're going to do. Check out our page. It's African Design League. That's where we are. So you're welcome to follow us, man. Media. Usiphathele namhlanje.
Nah, man. It's actually, man. I think we're gonna get into that a bit at the end, too. But shout out to obviously like this whole project, and I guess shout out to us for kind of bringing a bit of a new perspective to this whole conversation, man. And yeah, man, we're gonna check out some of these album covers that the kids or the streets came through with, and yeah, we're gonna unpack. So I can get right onto it. I can get right onto the selection that I had. But some of the options were garbage, bro.
Abantu abalaleli, dog. How do you bring a Nobkiri to a gunfight?
Oh, yeah. But so much that we got serious sometimes, dog. I think some of Lama designers, I don't know, bro. And I think that word is just so used now by designer, dog. But also, so we give a bit of clarity on how we roll today as well before I give my first option. So I'm going to basically give my option. We're going to chop it up on that. Pastor, you're going to give your option. We're going to chop it up on that. And then we're going to get the last option, which is Emtee's, which is the one that Emtee finally selected. And we're actually going to create that like how we normally create on my album cover.
For sure.
That's what's going to be going on. And then we'll give you a bit of, insights towards the end on how we feel about this whole project. So, I think, so this was obviously for Emtee's single, right? Called
Johustleburg.
Joe Hustleburg. What's up, bro? Joe Hustleburg. And yeah, man, I think we've been loving how Emtee's been moving independently. So indie, exactly, bro. Indie, and the option that I selected came from a young designer. He calls himself Creative Sotra. Creative. Yeah. Man, he's got no like active Instagram at this point. But I did see that he and I think homie's got like 15 tweets, but like one of them was this design, and it was homage to neon lighting. It was a homage to neon lighting and design. And yeah, I thought he brought the heat.
I see it's clean, but hey, media man, talk to me. I like what's going on with the typeface above his head.
So what the Emtee? So listen, man. So you know what I like about this, man. This is if it's Indwana. I think I always appreciate neon. Yes, we can talk about it being overdone. Neon photography, filming. Neon is also a style that was actually made hot by like the Hong Kong scene in the 70s, right? So if you look at those old Hong Kong cinemas and all this type of stuff, that's kind of a style that really originated from those days, man. And I love the way that we get a bit of darkness here. We talk a bit of darkness, but we also get a little bit of luxury aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? So Emtee is African trap, That's what I think he defines his sound as. But
His ATM, yeah, African trap music.
Yeah. But so I just like, I think I like, Joburg, Joe Hustleburg. I felt there's a luxurious element to Emtee's hustling, and there's the darkness which this aesthetic captures, but also this this pink/purple I think overlay which the aesthetic is based on. I think I liked it. It's clean. He kept it clean. He kept it simple. He kept it classy. But there's a street element to it, man. If I'm Emtee, this is Emtee in the VIP. I think he captured that, and also captured. The hustle doesn't always have to be a grunge game. It doesn't always have to be. Yes, you gotta have your backpack on, but the hustle is also you in the VIP with the neon lights, winning in life, bro.
Sure. Okay, let's talk then about the typeface he used, cursive and stuff like that. Let's talk about the typeface, Joe Hustleburg being written in cursive.
What are your thoughts? What do you think? What you got issues with the typeface?
I don't have an issue. Let me first start with what I like. I like you talk about the neon, the color grading of the picture. Like the picture looks crisp, bro. Like you could print this out now and the printer won't tell you to go back and change the sizing because it's pixelated. Like it looks crisp. So I really appreciate that. Also, you know what I really like about the typeface? It's in action. Media.
Yeah.
It's in action and it speaks to the hustle and bustle of Joburg. We are about to move. And it's not like static. Like it gives an illusion. Like he on small streets, so it's giving me low vibe. So that's what I appreciate about this cover. That's what I appreciate about the cover.
Then what did you find was a bit off?
The placement of it.
About the text?
Yeah.
All over, or just the headline text?
I think all three, man. It's Emtee, it's Joe Hustleburg, it's the producer. Yeah. All of that I would have placed somewhere differently.
I get you, but I also saw from like a lot of submissions, everyone was putting up pictures of Joburg and the whatever and the towers. I thought he came with it from a little bit of a different angle, but look, man. Otherwise, too. Shout out to Creative Sotra, man. I think you bodied this. I think you should have taken this home. Pastor's got his issues with the typography, but Belu Pastor's a hater, bro. The reason we're reviewing your work is because you're out here, you delivered the work. Shout out to you, bro. I hope by the time we post this, you're actually a bit more active on social media. I think that was my pick. Pastor, take us through your pick.
But with mine, I couldn't find the guy, but we'll find him, we'll stalk him, we'll make sure by the time we post this thing, we find him. But there's just...
He's already there, bro. He's already there.
He's already here.
In the middle of the...
So yeah, man.
Shout out to you.
I found this one on with thread, the guy Emtee. So I think he saw it and then he brought it onto the whole thread. I really liked it very too. So let me just take you through the whole visual, because this style for me, I saw this style being executed at its best on Iskandar Republic, KO. I don't know if you remember that. That's where I saw the style like really been like stressed and been done like to the T, bro. The style on Iskandar Republic was done to its best, and here's someone else who also attempted that, and I feel like he kind of succeeded. Why the style for me is very dope. It says a lot without actually even alluding to the title itself. You've got the street sign, which talks of Upri streets. You've got the highest building in Joburg, in Pointy. You've got Amabasi, because we used to travel with buses to go to Joburg or Translax or Intercape, plug to those guys that should give us a free lift. And then you've got Itimela, Abo Metro Rail. And then in the foreground, you have, once I've used all of this, I arrived at Stimela. I could be leaving back home and get motor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Sure.
So that's
even back home.
Angithi ngabe ngiyosebenza khona. As uSjava would say, senginemoto. Because now I've worked for this thing. I've achieved. Ngiyababonisa ekhaya ukuthi uDedu achieve it. Also, also understanding the legacy of Emtee. Emtee is a kid from Ematatela, man. You know, he moved up to Joburg, trying to push this music career of his, and now he's popping off, you know. So I really liked how the guy took the story of Emtee, of who he is, where he comes from, and put it into a cover, man. And also it just speaks about the hustle. Emtee's handle is Emtee the Hustler. And the album cover itself, it's Johustleburg, you know, so it's like, it's the thing I've arrived.
I definitely, bro. Look, shout out to the swag and this car, wherever you found this car. I mean, that's the swag right there.
Yeah.
I mean, this actually reminded me of not from the Iskandar Republic album. I mean, I think I saw Migos. Migos dropped an album called Culture, which is probably one of the best albums like ever. So I would also think, I would probably think even Emtee, from not selecting this cover, it probably reflected that too much.
Sure.
In terms of the styling, I mean, I get that. Like, look, I get that Lana, he captured the hustle. I'll agree with you that. He captured the Joburg journey. He captured the Jersey hustle. I appreciate that, man. But I also I think, and he actually even worked with the type placements were actually quite nice. But I think for me, maybe it might not have been the most original execution. Yeah, maybe it might not have been the most original album cover that I call that Emtee came through, man. But yeah, you know, but outside of that, yeah, you know, it's the style is dope. But yeah, I think maybe for me it was like the other one. I think for me it was like, you know, didn't necessarily have to capture the grunge when you think of the Johustleburg, but obviously, you know, yeah, I think he captured all the components. Maybe it's a bit like too literal as well. You know what I'm saying?
But hey,
it's like,
I hear you're thinking media, and I hear you, but I think sometimes
I'm hustling. Here's the bus. Here's the car. You know,
media. I hear you. It's a valid point, but I feel like not all of us have creative minds to kind of picture these things.
Jesus, Pastor, that's quite hard. So you're chopping up so you're saying the person who doesn't have a creative mind?
No. What I'm trying to say is, he took himself out of that space, because sometimes we create too much for us in our heads. So sometimes you just need to be the layman who doesn't understand design, who doesn't know the rules and regulations of what puts together a dope art piece. Are you with me on that?
Yes.
Yeah. So And I'm saying sometimes being literal is sometimes the best form of communication.
Yeah, I hear you. And I don't agree with you. So, sure.
Okay. Let's now reveal that one.
Go. Shout out to this though. Shout out to the guy who
Quick one.
this.
If you were to rate this one, sorry, if you were to rate this out of 5, because Nama was supposed to rate yours. If you were to rate this one out of 5, it would be what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Single cover, by the way. I think we keep saying album, but anyway.
Oh yes,
what it is.
It's single cover, yeah.
It is what it is, man. But out of 5, let's get a nice 3.5.
Okay.
Nice
I would give
3.5.
yours a 4, by the way.
You see, I think outside of the literalness, I think he handled it well. I think he handled the elements that he dealt with well.
Sure. As a design piece.
Exactly. If you're a designer, I'll be honest, I can see this in a design portfolio.
Sure.
I wouldn't be mad. About something.
Okay,
All
man.
right, cool.
Let's break down the winner.
Whew. Let me open up my winner out here. The single cover, right?
Yes. For Johustleburg.
Johustleburg. The winning cover for Johustleburg.
/ Grand Auto. What's Grand Theft Auto?
The Grand Theft Auto.
And then you talk about originality.
But now, does this also then speak? So shout out to who's the designer? I think who's Pixnce May. I think that's the name I saw Emtee keep tagging.
It's actually it's Pixnce May. He's a boy from Mlazi. I'm gonna show you his page. He's on Instagram and is also on Twitter. Prince Wakona, it's spelled Prxnce, and then it's May.
Okay, all right, man. So that's quite okay, cool. That's quite interesting because I kept seeing like Emtee tagging an account which was empty. But it is what it is, man. But
I think you are right, because he's also got EPM Arts as his side account.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's get into it though. This one, so this is the winner. Shout out to you. Maybe we'll have some at this part, but
I'm just happy to see the kid or some lazy, bro. That's all I'm happy about.
Shout out to him. But we're giving this our anchor treatment. We're gonna be snappy about it. We're gonna be snappy about it. We're gonna give him the proper rating on the concept, the visual, the execution, production.
Sure.
Talk to me.
Concept, bro. I don't know. Maybe the concept is the game of life.
Okay.
You know, and this is me once again creating meaning out of nothing. You know, maybe it is the game of life, and how about Creative Theft Auto is about. I know growing up, I wasn't very exposed to games which were violent, because it has guns. You're trying to hijack cars and stuff like that. You know. So I think as a hustler, we've all seen hustling, like it's kulekas, man, and we admire kids. We admire the swagger yabo. Like recently, I've been watching Yuzo, and I got why Uchester, Papa X's were like cool characters, man. Like their persona, like how they did things, like they demanded like respect. So maybe the concept was that. So if the concept is that, 6. I'm giving it a 6. 6 out of 10, bro. 6 out of 10 concepts.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Johustleburg gets a 6 out of 10. For me, the Johustleburg concept gets a 5 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Like, nice. Like, I'm not like, it's nice. Yeah. Shout out, man. Shout out to the concept. I did it. I mean, I grew up playing GTA. I was addicted to it. You know, I think selecting this as a winner speaks more to Emtee as a curator himself. But, you know, this is his brand. This is what he's about. Concept-wise, yeah, for me, it's a 5. I'm like, man. The visual.
I think the visual was well executed, man. Even though I'm gonna now start overlapping onto execution, like the attention to detail with the visuals, how he was also able to get Emtee, because I think Emtee is on every frame, and there's like 4 frames. So it's like he's got him on the yellow background. He's also got him on the green background partner now. He's got the Joburg skyline setting. He's got the picture of him and Avery. So like in terms of the visuals and how they come together as a puzzle, I'm happy with that. It's a 5.
Give it a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. You say all this good stuff, then you give it a 5. No, I think my side as well, the visual, I appreciate the homage to GTA. You know, it's like GTA, you know, Emtee might have its own custom what to GTA. I'm not sure it's the strongest image as a visual. It's yeah, you know, we'll touch up on the execution. I think it's a good visual. Maybe I'll give it a 6 as well as a visual. It's a nice visual. Execution. When we overlap directly onto execution, maybe I'd like to start on this one.
Okay.
From the fact that as soon as I see this, I'm already aware. He's done it so well in the relationship between this and GTA. Even though it's not groundbreaking conceptually to me, but I think the execution, I have to give him an 8. He did like homage, you know what I'm saying? Like you could put this anywhere and everyone understands what's going on. Especially if you're a GTA player and you understand the hustle of GTA. Like I played GTA in high school. I used to love it. I was addicted to that dish. And I kind of now feel like, you know, I appreciate how he was able to do this, how he was able to just the coloring, the fonts, the you know, putting everything together. I think he executed it hard.
Okay, me, I'm gonna be a bit critical. Like I'm gonna be with you each time we talk of concepts and stuff like that. I did not appreciate the live trace. I'm over this cartoon trace type of thing we've been doing on album covers. Like personally, I'm really over it. And another thing I didn't like is Emtee has a logo. Whilst he was at Ambitious, they actually developed a logo yake. So I'm okay with treating Johustleburg like Grand Theft Auto, but also the name being treated the same, I felt like there was a lack of attention to detail there. For some years, I mean, the yellow of the City of Gold, yeah, I get it. Like it's now I'm trying too hard for me. Because already we know Johustleburg. Sorry?
Lack of attention to detail.
No.
Lack of attention to detail.
Lack of attention to detail on the Emtee. I felt like he didn't respect the logo, got Emtee. He should have kept it as the usual logo we know it for all the 2 albums he's dropped. Imanando and the first one as well, Avery, where they've actually developed a logo. Like we're talking about the Nadia Nakawe, she actually has what you call a lock-up logo, how it sits. So I felt there the guy either got lazy or he forgot about that.
So,
Which Emtee is actually a brand on his own. And then you've got the City of Gold. Sorry?
still chopping this up. Go ahead. Sorry, but you're still saying what you did not like.
Yeah.
All right.
Talking about that. The City of Gold. I felt like he was like, get it. Like, Johustleburg, I think, already speaks to the City of... I don't know why he added the City of Gold in yellow. I don't get that. But
Yeah,
overall, as a design piece, as a graphic designer, as an artist, I appreciate how clean it is. Like, Amma borders, okay, you can actually see there's mats around the border. There's no border that's bigger than the other. So, in terms of the craftsmanship of when we talk about crafting, it was well crafted. I felt like he got carried away in the crafting and he left out the small details that make a piece. You toil. And I feel like it got a bit wasted. For example, there's a beautiful analogy someone once said. He said, all cars now have a camera, they move. You know, like cars, each time they reverse, they have a camera. But not all the cars have to buy the most expensive camera to get that in their car. So I felt like he went for the most expensive camera, whereby the car didn't need the expensive camera, where it would have still done a job if it just bought a standard camera for the car. So yeah, man.
Bro, you're getting awful.
But yeah,
all philosophical on us right now. Give us a number.
Execution, it's a 3.
The 3. Yo,
sure.
Pastor, I hope you don't see this kid I hope you don't see Emtee on the street. I'll be honest with you. For me, there's no discussion about disruption here. It's a 1. I'm like, there's nothing disruptive going on.
No.
We don't even need next chapter. I don't know. What's your number?
It's 1, bro.
Disruption.
It's not disruptive.
Okay, cool. Yeah. If you want to know, if this is the first time watching the show, you'll understand what we check out. You don't need to get into it. I don't think this is disruptive in any way, shape, or form. I think now at least, so we just wanted to maybe close off on maybe just some insight from this kind of thing in terms of, you know, positives and negatives of what Emtee tried to do with this project. Let's maybe start with what we didn't like, and maybe we'll end off on what we really thought was dope just about this whole project.
I think the brief was vague. The brief was very vague to the public. It's Johustleburg, so just to be a cover. I think the person who did it well was AKA when he briefed these people and said, please can I have like he gave people measures of how they could put together an album cover act. You know, it wasn't like a completely blank canvas. Like I always say this, there's liberty in restrictions, you know. Like if I've restricted you this much, you can still find your ways of being liberated in your design. So I felt like he prefect was like vague, and therefore you couldn't really pinpoint what actually he was looking for.
Agree with that, man. Agree with that. The brief was vague, and I think that then also now landed up in a position where, which is another thing that you had brought up, Uguti, you're getting, there was a stuff that you were talking about, layouts. Guys were submitting landscape submissions. Just in terms of a briefing, I think he was chilling a bit on there. I agree with you on that. another issue that I had, and I think we opened the show on that. I'm not a fan of these kind of things. I think the game has evolved beyond these kind of things. I'm just not and I'm speaking as as from an artist and a designer kind of perspective. This whole, give me some designs and then I'll select the best ones. I don't know. I've always felt a certain way about these kind of these kind of things. They haven't made me the happiest. And I remember, just being an up and coming guy myself, and it's almost like these things. You enter these things, and it's giving you an element of hope. But I don't know, man. Imagine if you got a whole lot of doctors to submit. I don't know. It's a bad example, but you get my point.
No.
Submit some research.
Dude, I totally agree, because I still feel like even them artists, they don't take us amateur designers seriously. So that's why they can put stuff like this, and then they'll get like entries 150.
Sure. And it's almost like this toxic relationship that we have as artists amongst ourselves, man. Whereas I don't know, I don't know. I just think there's maybe just a better way around it than
a tasteful way of doing it, and that's why. And that's why I keep going back to the AKA one, because he actually gave that kid an apprentice after that. He became an intern, the kid who won.
Look, I see Emtee. He's obviously gonna plug this quite well, and he's gonna.
Sure.
I'm saying he's using it on all his things. I'm not sure what the plan is even for the kid. For me, I'm almost like, get some designers to submit their portfolios and their CVs at least. You know what I'm saying? Get your top 5 guys and either, you know what I'm saying, and get your top 5 guys. Know that you've got, I don't know, man. You've got $10,000 on the line, for example. And at least, I don't know, each guy's kind of just commissioned a little for their time spent on it. I don't like this thing of give me your best stuff. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. And it's got its positives and negatives, but that's the worst thing for me. I just don't like that culture. I think us as artists, there's a better way around it, man. There's a better, more respectful way around it. Because if this was really the way, it's almost like there's certain artists you don't see partake in this. Nelson Makamo is not going to partake in something like this. Not because he doesn't mess with Emtee. It's just he's like, nah, he's not going to do that, And you'll find that there's kids who are as good, technically. But anyway, it is what it is, man. That's my negative. Positives from this whole thing. Maybe you can touch on yours.
There's quite a few. There's quite a few. Like, honestly, I saw a few people. For example, I actually went on a page, Emtee, on Twitter, on Instagram, and as he was sharing, I saw a few hip hop heads or hip hop artists. 3 cats I saw was Nasty C, was Uzenga, and I was like, if these guys are looking at some of these kids who are throwing in this work, they could potentially see a media who did a cover and be like, you know what, I like his style as a media, so let me commission him to put together an album cover for me. So I felt like in that space, it does open up the industry. The biggest thing people have been saying. I feel like it does open up the industry. But I also feel like at the same time, it also gives artists a more potential to be exploited to they were found online. So therefore, I can always push it according to how.
You're saying it also gives? So you got shut up for a short while there. You're saying
I also feel like it puts us on a place of being exploited at the same time. Exploited.
I definitely get get that side of it. I think, but again, it is called Johustleburg, so you know what I'm saying. Emtee is the hustler, so he's gonna use hustle tactics to get things done, man, because that's what we love about Emtee, and he's using his way. But Definitely shout out to using social media to opening up the to opening up the market.
Can I just
Good, they're still there, Pastor.
Yes, I'm here. Can I just stir up? Do you think he did this because Arasana he budget as ambitious? I guess I mean.
In the man, talking about the budget.
Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah, man. Whether there's less budget from ambitious, I think, man. I think shout out. What I love about this, again, obviously, I'm always there for people using social media innovatively to get things done. But I love I think what Emtee, the lesson that he showed to the whole game here. I always, he did say on his brief, as much as he kind of criticized him for his brief, he did kind of say that hardcore fans, you know what I'm saying? If you ride with Emtee, obviously you understand how he's moving right now. I completely give him credit for the fact that without whatever push that he initially had, he's been putting out good music that's been hitting. He's been busy putting out like good music that we're able to find. And then the fact that this is so connected to his fans, man. This is like a moment that he's made for his fans. It's for him. It's not for, if you don't mess with Emtee, this is not for you. This is entering brand around him and his fans and the relationship that they have. And go to I you know what I'm saying, I love Emtee. I wouldn't necessarily call myself like a hardcore fan, but I love the work, but the fact that whether what we say about it, this is between him and his fans, and they get it, they were part of it. And I think for every artist doing what they're doing, that's always the lesson, dog. That's always the lesson. And your fans. And again, it brings the conversation to, on the other side, there's just the appreciation of designers in the process. It's like, come through. If you got design ability, I want to see you. I want to work with you. You and my team. I mess with you. So shout out to Emtee just for that culture and for that understanding, that relationship between himself and his fans, and taking them. They're all on this journey, man. They're all on this journey. And again, regardless of anything, we keep saying, we here, even us doing this content piece, we want to see Emtee win.
Sure. Yeah, man. It is your boy, Touch the 8th Wonder, your pastor's favorite DJ. Peace in the Middle East. See you on them streets, man.
Shout out, guys. Peace, Mr MediaX. Today was a bit of a tribute to Ronaldinho, so shout out to Ronaldinho. I hope he's out of prison by the end of this. Top 10 hip-hop album, Dopest hip-hop album covers. We'll see you guys. Away.
Shout outs. Let me stop this thing.